Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back. And the reason I laughed at the start of that introduction is because I've already tried this twice before and twice I've got the measurement wrong of this cover piece. So we'll try and get it right this time. So this is a journal. We're going to be making a journal from scratch. I know several of you saw the video that I did, the one that I'd already made up from Papercraft Society box 39 by Helen Griffin. But a lot of you had said, you haven't got that box, so how would you do it from scratch? So that's what we're going to do. There's nothing too complicated. So here we go. It's not really complicated at all. If you go through it step by step, you shouldn't have any problems. So I'll get it right this time, hopefully. You will need a cover piece that measures 12 by 8. The first two times I said 5 by 8, but it's 12 by 8. So you will need a piece that measures 12 by 8 when it's flat like this. And you will need to score it at 5 inches and at 7 inches. So I've already done that. So once you've done that, you'll have a piece that looks like that, and that's going to be your cover. So we'll do that. And then what you need to do, you don't have to put mats on this if you don't want to, but if you're doing it with if you're doing your card base with a pattern paper, especially if it's a double-sided card, that's fine. You can leave it like that. But because I've done mine with white card, it doesn't look very exciting. So for the front and the back, I have made some mats. Now the front and back mat for your outside cover will be, these are the pieces that measure 5 by 8 inches. And I've just used some more white board and covered it with some paper. And on top of that, I have put some double-sided tape. So we're just going to very quickly pop that off. Oh, what's that doing there? So we'll just pop that off as well. And we'll put one on first. So this should, if you've measured it correctly, or if I've measured it correctly, I should say, once you've measured this should fit exactly onto your front and back. Well, more or less exactly. You don't have to be too precise about it. And I've got one, oops, excuse me a minute, my spine's just dropped onto the floor. I'll be back. Right, we're going to carry on. I thought I might have to stop and try it a fourth time, but we're going to carry on. We're going to carry on, I should say. So, sorry about that. I knocked the table and the spine part fell on the floor. So, we're going to carry on. So, if it was something drastic that had happened, I would have stopped and started again, but it's not drastic. All I had to do was bend over and pick it up. So, we're going to take the backing tape off. It's supposed to be easy peel, so hopefully it'll live up to its name. And indeed, well, it's easy-ish. Sometimes it gives you a bit of trouble. Now this paper that I'm using is just ordinary wrapping paper. It comes in a sheet rather than a roll, this particular one, but that's okay. I like it. I like these pastel colours. They're really nice. And your spine piece, talking of the spine, let's just move all this debris and I can tell you what the measurements are. You need that at 2 inches by 8 inches. And I will add all of these measurements in the description box below this video at the end, because there are a few measurements, but so for the different parts. So I will add all of these measurements. Don't think it really matters which way that goes. I will add all of the measurements in the description box at the end of the video. So we're going to lay that down like that. Try and get it in line with the front and back cover. And then once you've pressed that down like that, if you want to, if you prefer, if you don't like using double-sided tape, or if you want more time to get it in place, you can use glue. But I've used tape because I've got a pile, I seem to have a pile of it on my desk. So there we go. There is our cover. And so this part will be our front cover. Now, while I've still got the bits and pieces for the front cover, I'm just going to take that debris off. I have got a photograph. I found this beautiful, it's not a card stock, I beg your pardon. In my photo stock, I've got lots of photos in my photo stock. And this is one of them. And I absolutely love it because it goes with this colour theme for one thing. And the reason, I apologise if this video looks a bit dark, but it suddenly went very dark outside. It started to rain. It was beautiful this morning, but this afternoon, it's gone very dull and wet. And so I've got my studio light on, but looking in my screen, it still looks a bit dark. So hopefully you should be able to see it all right. So I'm going to lay that down there like that. And as it's for next year, I've just cut a scrap or leftover piece of white card, and I've used an alcohol pen to mark 2023 or 2023. So as you can see, you don't even have to be particularly straight with it. So that's going to go, well, anywhere you like really. I think I'm going to put that there. So that's our cover finished, unless you want, well, that's the outside of the cover finished anyway. But of course now we've got this beautiful cover, we need to put something on the inside. So we're going to make a diary, a little booklet to put our photos in, and a notebook. Well, they're already made up, but they're ever so easy to make. So this is a plain notebook like this. Now you can make your notebooks if you want to, but you may find that you'll have to do your own horizontal lines. Now what I did, I drew mine out with a black marker pen, or a black biro, I beg your pardon, onto a sheet of A4 paper and photocopied it front and back, and then bound it with a long reach, what are those things called? Stapler. So we're going to use that, but we're going to make this one up into a diary. So let's just pop that over there for a minute. And this part measures, now I must keep all this clutter off of my book because I can't see my measurements. So the booklets measure 5 by 7, and that includes this bit here. So when it's folded, it measures 5 by 7, as do the pages when they're folded. And I have got a mat to put on the front, and that measures 4.5 by 6.5. And once again, I have got some double-sided tape, my favourite adhesive, as if you hadn't noticed. So I don't think that really does have a direction, but again, it's entirely up to you if you're using this paper. And again, this is wrapping paper, which, did this come in a roll or did it come in a sheet? I think it came in a sheet. It's this beautiful foiled wrapping paper. And I have got a little photo. Again, all the photographs are from stock. So, which I've got, actually they're from, to be more precise, they're from a jigsaw pack. So if you've got the HD jigsaw sets or packs on any of your devices, that's where I got my photographs from. And I'm going to stick that down like that. And I'm going to stick down this little note that says diary. Now while we're at it, I'm going to show you very simply how we turn this ordinary plain notebook into a diary. And if I can find my pen, there we go. I was looking for a black pen. So what you do, when you open it up, it says diary, but when you open it up, as you can see, it's just a plain notebook. But we can change that. So on this top line here, all you need to do, if you've got a stamp or another way of doing it, that's fine, but I'm going to write, and I'm going to write January. Just in block capitals, nothing wonderful, nothing superior, nothing complicated. And spelling and talking at the same time is not an easy thing, so I hope I've done that right. January. And then all you do is you put 1, 2. Obviously this isn't going to give you an awful lot of time to write or room to write, but that's okay. Or if you've got a diary that fits, if you've got a ready-made diary that fits your journal that you're making, that's fine, you can do that. You can use that. But this is just a very simplified way of turning a notebook into a diary. 15, 16, and obviously you'd need to turn that over. So we'll just carry on. 17, I won't do them all now, I'll just do the Januaries. Can you see that, guys? Sorry. 19, 20, 21, where are we? 22, so we'll go up to 31, 23, 24, enough difficult talking and writing at the same time. 25, hopefully I'm doing this right. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 and 31. And then when you get to this one, you will write February and you'll carry on. So we won't do the whole lot now, otherwise the video will be about 10 hours long. So we won't do that now. So once we've got that, we need to find a way of adding it to our cover. That's the word I was after. So what you do, you need to add this with, we're going to add it with elastic. So the best way of doing it is start off in the middle. You don't have to measure it, just eyeball it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of my books and I'm going to put a little mark, a pencil mark, just above, like that. and just below, let's move that up a little bit, and a tiny fraction above and below the book. So if I move the book away, you can just about see that mark. So if we do, I tell you what, if we do that now, so we can use the same book to do the measurements. So put that there, because we've got 3 books altogether, you see. You can make your spine a little bit wider if you want to, about another 1/4 of an inch wider, and put another book in there if you want to. So for example, you might want to add an address book, but we're going to keep it simple for now. And we're just going to do 3. So you've got your holes all lined up, or your marks all lined up. Then you need to take something sharp-ish to poke your holes. So I'm going to use a pair of scissors. I'm going to keep you need a small sharp pair of scissors like this. Keep it closed and push it through like that. It actually might be better if you have something soft underneath it, like an old mouse mat or something. But I haven't got that, so just take your scissors, push it through, and once you've pushed it through, just push it through like that and give it a turn. Give it a little bit of a wiggle just to make the hole a little bit bigger. And we're going to do that with all 6 holes. We're going to do that now because this is something new. Well, new to this channel anyway. And it's possible you might not have seen this done before. It's possible you could have done as well on maybe another channel. But we've not done this before. So this won't take long. So we're just going to push that through and just twist your blade while it's closed. Now I'm going to turn it round while we can still see our marks. And we're going to push that through like that. I'll show you how we're going to what we're going to attach it with in a minute. But if you saw the video of the one that I was just walking you through, you'll probably be able to guess what we're going to attach with it. So we've just got one more there. Give it a push. There's always one that doesn't want to come through. And we've got our holes. So that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too difficult, was it? Sometimes it can be a bit of a battle. Now all we've got to do is make sure we get it the right way round. So what we need now, we need some elastic. And what we do with this, I'll give you another tip. If I can find my needle. Sometimes elastic is a swine or a bit difficult to put thread through cards. So what I do, I use a wool needle or a large tapestry needle and thread it through there like that. Then all you've got to do is thread that through there. Actually, I was trying to work out, no, actually we need that to be on the inside. So if we pull that up there like that and push that down like that, turn it over, whoops, it got caught on the edge of my desk. Pull that through, oops, sorry guys, I knocked the camera with my needle. I'll try not to do that again. And then take it off, and then what we need to do, oops, it's a bit tatty this elastic, sorry about that. Hang on, where's my, I'll tell you what, let's do it this way, let's just chop it off with a pair of scissors. So I'm sure your elastic, this is old elastic, I'm sure you've got elastic that's much neater than mine. So, but by the time we've got everything in, you won't see much of the elastic, so I wouldn't worry too much. So let's just pull it through a bit, so we don't ping it out, that would be funny, wouldn't it? And so that hasn't happened, fortunately. So what we're going to do, I haven't got any of the corded elastic, so we're just using some flat elastic. And tie it until you feel it stretch, but don't do it so much that it bows. We don't want the paper bowing. So this is the awkward bit, because you've got to tie a knot with one hand and hold it with the other. So that's all right, just hold it like that. Use your other finger and tie it. If it goes a bit loose, we can always sort it out later. So it is going to go a bit loose, but never mind, we can always tie it down. So there we go. There is our elastic. There's one piece of elastic in anyway. So we're going to hopefully get the other 2 pieces in just as easily. So here's another piece. So we're going to put these in now together. So this video may be a little longer than my usual videos, but I hope you'll forgive me, because it's not something I've done this before, but I've never recorded it before, so I'm never quite sure how long these things are going to take. So we're going to thread it through like that, pull it through. If you want to cover this on the back, you can. I probably won't for the time being. I might do later, but I'm not going to now. Not today. So we're going to pull that through, take that off, and again we're going to try and keep it in shot. And we're going to tie our elastic. So again, not too tight, but tight enough so that it doesn't go too floppy. Which is, I'm actually going to lean on it with my little finger and hopefully it'll stay in place. So we've done that. So that's 2 out of 3. That's not bad, is it? We're getting there. Then the rest of it is dead easy. Once we've done this, the rest of it's dead easy. So one more piece of elastic, guys. Here we go. Bear with me, we're nearly there. So again, we're just going to thread that through there like that. It's a lot easier than trying to struggle with it, trust me. Because I tried doing it the other way and I was there for ages with it. So we're going to thread that through just once more. Oh, the pencil's coming with me as well, never mind. And we'll tidy all the outside up later on. And bring that up like that. And these knots in the middle, you might see these knots and think, oh, that doesn't look very tidy. But by the time we've got the books in, you won't see them, so I wouldn't worry too much. So there we go. We've gone. This is a lot easier actually if you've got corded elastic, but I haven't, and I couldn't find any in my local shop, so I've had to use a piece of 1/2 inch wide elastic and just cut it down, which was a bit of a pain, but we got there in the end. So again, we're just going to tie this off. So that could have been a bit tighter actually, but never mind. We'll manage. As long as it doesn't come undone. That could have been a bit tighter, but that's okay. So all we do now, we take our booklets, find the centre pages, thread it through. Actually, I'm going to do the last one. Now I've got 2 more books. I've made them exactly the same way. I've got one for notes and one for photographs. So we're going to put the notes on the back, I think. And I'm going to slide that through there. What we do is we slide our book through our elastic like that. We take our second book and slide it through there. And sliding it through will make it a bit tighter anyway. So if it's not quite tight enough the first time, don't worry. And it's a bit of a pain getting it through, especially when you've got one already there. But once it's there, it'll be fine. So we're just going to carefully lift that over the top of the other one. Slide that on top like that. And then all we've got to do is pop the diary in, which will probably be the hardest to get in, but never mind. So we're going to slide that in. Hopefully, we were going to slide that, but the elastic snapped. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll very quickly tie that back up. So if the elastic does snap, this is old elastic, I should have got some new one. So I won't be a minute. I'll just tie this back up, but it hasn't come out, so it's not the end of the world. So there we go. Hopefully that'll stay put this time. Sorry about that. So we'll carefully slide that under there. Once it's all in and it's all together, you can use it and it'll be no problem at all. So we're going to carefully slide that in like that, do it up like that, and there you go. We are finally there, guys. So you open up your first bit. If you wanted to, you could line your inside pages. I'm not going to. You could line your inside covers. I'm not going to do that today. And there you go. There is your diary. There's a plain book for adding your photographs. And of course, there is a notebook for adding your notes. So there we go, guys. There is our homemade diary or journal from scratch. And you even managed to see me overcome some problems there. So that's why I decided to keep that bit in. I thought, yes, the elastic snapped. I wasn't going to say, oh, let's just do it again. I thought, no, I'll let it run and show you how we fix it. So there we go, guys. There is our journal for 2023. So I hope that's given you an idea of how to make your own. You don't have to do it this size. Once you've got the system, the process, you can make this any size you like. But this, once it's folded, is a 5x8. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. And I hope you make one yourself, either for yourself or, if it's not too late, as a gift. So I'll be back soon with enough. I will be back probably tomorrow now with my final message for you, just to wish you a Merry Christmas. And that will be the last one before Christmas. So I'll see you tomorrow, I hope. And in the meantime, take care, everybody. Have fun and happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.